good afternoon. I'm in my backyard. The sun is finally shining today. You wouldn't believe it's December in Australia because I've only just taken my jumper off for the day. So I have behind me my 2021 monthly colour challenge run by Jen, Patterns with Jen, and this is the finished quilt. This is the top half anyway, and I'll show you the full quilt in just a little bit. Sorry, microphone coming out of my ear. So if you hear chickens in the background, that's because my chickens are just down there and they're a little bit interested in what I'm doing. So I have basically used up scraps for my quilt. The wind's going to blow it. So I think there were a couple. I don't have a lot of orange, so this block here I did have to cut into some meterage because I don't have a lot of orange scraps. The rest of it is pretty much scraps out of my bucket, and then I did a consistent dark charcoal grey background for the entire quilt. So I have done my settings a little bit differently to Jen's pattern, and I have just cut wide sashings out of the same background fabric, and then my setting squares also match the colours. So there's a yellow one here, it is a different scrap to the yellow block. Up in the corner here there's a different orange, etc, etc. There are none down this side because it goes from there upwards. So that's my finished quilt. I'm really pleased to get this done. It was I'd started it earlier, and then would you believe I put it in somewhere safe in my sewing room, and then when it came to put it together, I'm like, what have I done with my blocks? Anyway, found them. The quilt is together. This is the thread I used. So I'm just going to slide this off so you can see. That is, hang on, can we focus? All right, so it is a, oh, I have a bee. Tell me I'm in the backyard. Trying to get that to focus clearly. So it's mostly red with some green. This is a 40 weight thread. Oh, let me come back into screen here. 40 weight thread. It is from Superior Threads, and it's part of their Rainbows range, and it's called Christmas. Seeing as I finished it just before Christmas, I thought that was pretty appropriate. But you can see on my quilt that even though this is red and green, it doesn't show up as much as you think it would. Even on the yellow, where it's a really high contrast with the rest, and also down the bottom, it's quite high contrast. But also the pattern that I have used, you'll see it on Instagram and Facebook. This is called Apple Meander. Now let me show you the back. Yeah. You can see the texture on the back, and you can see all the apples. So this pantograph is called Apple Meander, and I've lost my earpiece. I used up some scraps it was just a bit of leftover backing, and I even pieced together some wadding. So this quilt really epitomizes a bit of a uniform scrap quilt. I know that doesn't sound quite right, but I've used up scraps, but I've given the quilt some cohesiveness by using the same background for all the blocks, and it's with the all over pattern. That also helps as well. So I will pause here and I will show you the whole quilt. I do have to be a bit careful because there is a bee that's landed on my camera, so might wait for him to fly away, and then I will show you the whole quilt. So this is the 2021 monthly colour challenge by Patterns with Jen, and we're just about to start the 2022 monthly colour challenge. This year was inspired by, I should have mentioned this at the start, by Fruits and Veggies. So that was really interesting to try and find some fabrics that would suit, and I know there's fruit and veggie fabric out there, and I know some people did use those, but yeah, not always available. Next year, so the 2022 monthly colour challenge is coming up. I will put the link below as well, and it is inspired by spices. So that's going to be very interesting as well, and I'm looking forward to it. Alright, there's the top half that you could see in the previous bit behind me, and if I just go slowly down, you can see I'm very partial to this red block. I'm a bit of a fan of red. The lime green is pretty awesome as well. Now I'm going to go in a little bit closer. This block here is actually a pale beige colour. I think this one was brown for mushroom, but I did a really pale brown, so it actually looks a little bit the same as the pale yellow beside it, which is this one, and that was for lemon, I think. This one was cool. This is pink for pink grapefruit. Blueberry. This one was for an olive. So you can see I've done a matching pink square with the pink, a blue square with the blue one, and this one was for olive. I thought it looked like a bit like an olive tree, or the olive leaves in that block. And there you go, you can actually see all the quilting quite nicely there as well. Now we'll go in closer so you can see that gorgeous thread. I'm just being aware not to make you feel ill, especially with the wind blowing. Alright, so this is the bright yellow block at the top, and you can see up close, you can see the thread, but from a distance it's really not as overpowering as you think it might be. Now let's go in and see if we can get nice and close for that gorgeous variegated thread. So I had a lot of fun putting this together, using up my scraps. I think this one was meant to be red-orange, so that's why I've put that scrap there. And that was for a sweet potato. This one here is for orange, so I have striped orange. There you go. I am pretty pleased. I will go in to the purple block. I am pretty pleased with this block. I managed to get my stripes all going in the same direction. That was pretty cool. Alright, so that is my full quilt. I hope, if I go back just a little bit further, you'll be able to see the whole thing. So I hope you're inspired to put yours together in a similar way, or at least get it together and then maybe quilt it. And if you are keen to start with next year, then the theme is spices for the 2022 monthly colour challenge, and I'm just about to choose some fabrics ready to sew for that one. Enjoy. You can see in my garden, this is my raspberry bed, and over here I've got corn and beans growing, and the dog has decided, oh, I'm going to move over here. I figured it was pretty nice to be able to talk about the quilt next to my veggie garden. I don't have a spice garden. I don't know what I'll do next year. Have a lovely day. Enjoy the holidays, everyone. Take care. Happy quilting.